Well, hello again. William Chambers here. I'm getting started at my next project here. It seems it's been raining non-stop for the last, well, we haven't really spun a wheel in the last 2 weeks, other than opening a few fields for guys, but so I kind of got the evenings to myself, so I'm working at this Case 930 Comfort King from my father-in-law. My wife bought it. Kind of a funny story, really. Some of you know my wife works at a John Deere dealer, and I was looking on Kijiji one night and I seen this Case 930 for a reasonable price, and turns out it was at one of her dealerships, and needless to say, she got a pretty good deal on it. So yeah, so she picked it up and doing a bit of work here for him. I'm actually going to do a restore it for him, but I don't know when I'll get around to the paint. There's quite a bit of mechanical work to do on it. I'm having trouble finding much information, at least on the stuff that I want to fix here. Actually, first I'll give you a bit of history on these tractors. These were built from 1960 to 1967 in Wisconsin. Has a 6.6 liter diesel engine, which to me looks like an awful lot like a Minneapolis Moline engine. So you can see the heads. It's got 3 heads on it, 2 cylinders for each head. And this is actually considered the 931 because it's a diesel general purpose. I don't know why they did that, but that's the way they did it. Has about between 70 and 80 horsepower. I was looking on tractor data, and the horsepower rating's kind of all over the map, but pretty decent tractor. Lots of power. I got the privilege of driving it home, and it'd be a really nice pulling tractor. Now, these tractors came from the factory with straight pipes on them, and do they ever bark. This one's got a bad injector in it. When you start it up, it pops and spits a bit, and once it gets warmed up, it smooths right out. So yeah, I got quite a bit of work to do to it. Number one, the front axle, there's a ball in there and it's wore out. Or no, not a ball, a pin. The Internationals have little balls in there. There's a pin in there, but it's got to be either taken out and built up, or see what we got when we get it apart. Steps all bent up. At least the tin work on it's all nice and straight. Another thing I have to do to it, there's a axle seal leaking here, but it's an external seal. So if I pop the wheel and hub off, there's a bit of a raise there in the shaft, so you can slide the seal on there and tap it in. Shouldn't be too big a job. Battery box lid cover, bottom of the battery box. Seat needs some throttle adjustment. Somebody got too close to a pole or something and bent the connecting rod there. But straighten that out. Needs good tires are good on the front. Back tires are a little worse for wear. And oh yeah, that's really unfortunate. That's the fuel tank, and she's got a pretty good dent in it. So I think what we decided we're going to do is we're going to cut this out and just get a piece bent and weld it back on. Any of the ones we've seen at the wreckers are all dented up too, because your top link bar, which I don't have on there right now, is so high that it bangs up against the tank there. So once we get it done, we'll have to be a little careful with it. But yeah, like I said, the fenders are all straight. I think it's been painted once before. We're having trouble with 3-point hitch arms. We can't get them we had them going up and down once, and we haven't been able to get them to go up since. So, got to do a bit of looking there. The reason we got this out, hopefully you can see it here. When the tractor came here, it had 1,000 PTO, which was a option, and I don't imagine too many of them had 1,000 PTO. So my father-in-law just dropped this off today from Teeswater Agri Parts. They happen to have one, so they sent the whole unit instead of. You can swap the shaft out, but there's a bunch of stuff you got to change in there. We thought this would be the easier way to do it. Yeah, 1,000 RPM. I thought that was really odd, but kind of good thing we're changing it. A lot of this stuff's wore out, and it runs all the time, so I think the clutches are pretty well shot in it. Now my main concern here is the throttle adjustment. This is like the old International 66 series. It's got a one lever, and to shut it off you just put it right up at the top there. But you can hear that snap, that's what shuts it off. I've adjusted this linkage here. I'm going to try that and see if that helps. It doesn't idle really well. Number 3 injector's not working right either. When you start it up, like I said, it pops and snorts and carries on. And I put my hand on the manifolds on the other side when it was getting warmed up to see if it was getting hot. Every cylinder got hot except for number 3, so pull it out and see what it looks like. Looks like that injector's been out, according to someone's had a wrench on there at one time. Yeah, she's a big old monster of an engine. Hard to believe it was only 70, 80 horse. It's got a 6-speed. Or is this a 4? Do my homework before I make a video. No, this one's a 4-speed with a high-low in it. This is what they call a draft-o-matic. Now, if there's anybody out there that can tell me what draft-o-matic and what it was and what it actually did, that would be great, because when it comes to old Case tractors, I am lost. Well, it should run like a deer, though. So we'll keep you up to date when we get rolling with this thing. So thanks for watching.